On the 16th of October 2013, the Auditor-General tabled his audit report on implementation of the Strengthening Community Organisations Action Plan. The Auditor-General provides assurance to Parliament on the accountability and performance of the Victorian public sector. The Audit Act 1994 defines the powers and responsibilities of the Auditor-General and the Victorian Auditor-General's Office. Under this Act, the Auditor-General conducts and reports on both financial audits and performance audits. The Auditor-General's mandate covers over 500 entities, including government departments, hospitals, local government, water corporations, police, emergency services, universities and superannuation schemes. This presentation is a summary of the report, Implementation of the Strengthening Community Organisations Action Plan. To read the full report, please go to our website www.audit.vic.gov.au. Community or not-for-profit organisations are a significant provider of services, including health, education, aged care, social services and sport and recreation activities. There are around 140,000 community organisations in Victoria, ranging from small organisations, relying predominantly on volunteers, to large organisations occupying a large part of the service economy. In 2011-12, these organisations delivered approximately $3 billion in government programs funded through grants or service payments. In 2007, the government commissioned 2 reviews of the community sector. These were the Review of Not-for-Profit Regulation by the State Services Authority and the Stronger Community Organisations Project, headed by a steering committee established by the then Minister for Victorian Communities. The reviews examined the impact of government regulation and accountability requirements on community organisations and provided advice on the long-term sustainability of the sector. Both reviews made a number of recommendations related to legislative reform, streamlining service agreements and grants, capacity building, and improving collaboration and coordination. The Strengthening Community Organisations Action Plan was developed in response to the recommendations from these 2 reviews. The Action Plan was a 4-year, $13.8 million plan, developed to strengthen the capacity and long-term sustainability of the community sector in Victoria. Its 2 overarching objectives are shown on the slide. Under the Action Plan, there were 25 actions across 5 themes, relating to reducing the regulatory burden, capacity building, supporting innovation and growth, enhancing the role of community organisations, and improving cross-sector coordination. The Office for the Community Sector, or OCS, was established to lead the Action Plan's implementation and coordinate activities across government. It also worked with organisations within the community sector in implementing the plan. In 2008, the Office was allocated $4.9 million for 3 years, and it was provided a further $4.6 million in 2011 to continue to drive whole-of-government and community sector reforms. The audit assessed the effectiveness and efficiency of the implementation of the Action Plan. To address the objective, the audit examined whether the Action Plan was implemented effectively and efficiently and achieved its intended outputs and outcomes, as well as the effectiveness of the ongoing activities of the Office for the Community Sector. We also sought views from community organisations involved in the Action Plan's implementation through an online survey. The overall conclusions from the audit were that the Office for the Community Sector has made good progress in implementing the Action Plan and delivering its main outputs. It played a valuable role in connecting community organisations and coordinating activities across government. These achievements are significant given the size of the Office and the challenges of working with a large and diverse sector and across government. While the majority of actions and outputs under the plan were completed, there were weaknesses in some aspects of planning, implementation and evaluation. Overall, due to these weaknesses, the Office for the Community Sector cannot demonstrate that the intended outcomes of the Action Plan were fully achieved or that the plan was implemented efficiently and effectively. Our assessment of the Action Plan's implementation considered the completion of the plan's 25 actions and the 113 associated sub-actions. The slide shows our assessment of the completion of actions grouped by the plan's 5 themes. Overall, 8 actions have been completed in full, with 13 substantially completed, 3 partially completed, and 1 not progressed. Some of the key achievements from the plan include reforms to legislation affecting not-for-profit and community organisations to reduce the regulatory burden and streamline interaction with government, the development of a not-for-profit compliance support centre which provides a single point of entry for regulatory information, licences, forms and so on, development of a standard chart of accounts to provide a consistent accounting framework for bookkeepers and volunteers in the sector, development of a workforce capability framework developed to address workforce challenges including recruitment and retention of staff, and the development of a common funding agreement designed to ease the administrative burden on community organisations by replacing around 30 types of agreement used by government departments with one standard funding agreement. A positive aspect of the work of the Office for the Community Sector was its sector engagement and cross-government coordination, which underpinned much of the plan's implementation. A sector reference group and numerous working groups with sector and departmental representatives were established to assist with sector engagement and coordination and to drive the delivery of specific actions. Representatives from community sector organisations surveyed during the audit viewed the reference groups as positive. They commented on the benefit of interaction between sectors and the presence of government agencies, as well as the benefits for the community sector in having the Office for the Community Sector work across government departments. We identified a number of weaknesses with implementation of the action plan and lessons for program implementation. The implementation plans developed did not sufficiently address timeframes, resources, responsibilities, risks, or monitoring, evaluation and reporting requirements. Consequently, it is difficult to assess whether the plan was implemented efficiently and effectively. While governance arrangements were generally effective, there were some shortcomings with working groups in terms of clarity of roles, documentation and record keeping, and monitoring and reporting. An evaluation and performance monitoring framework was not developed for the plan. While written reports and verbal briefings covered progress against actions, this was not part of a structured and coherent approach to monitoring and reporting. This was also not supported by performance measures to enable an assessment of the achievement of the plan's outcomes. Also, a planned final evaluation of the plan did not occur. We made 4 recommendations relating to applying the lessons learned in implementing the Strengthening Community Organisations Action Plan to ongoing activities and any future programs of the Office of the Community Sector by developing comprehensive implementation plans, developing a robust monitoring, evaluation and reporting framework, undertaking evaluations at the conclusion of programs with a focus on demonstrating the achievement of objectives and outcomes, and developing and applying a sound risk management framework. The Department of Human Services response to the report accepts all of these recommendations and outlines how the department intends to address these. All our reports are available on our website. If you have any questions about this or other reports, or if you have anything else you would like to discuss with us, including ideas for future audit topics, please call us on 03 8601 7000 or contact us via our website.